couldn't draw up a better day for baseball this afternoon. And last night, Jaime Garcia was near perfection.
1-2 the count. Can he finish it here on pitch number 102? Little floater popped up. This'll do it. Garcia, the complete game. 2-hit shutout against the Milwaukee Brewers. What a night.
Goes the distance, strikes out 8. Now we turn the page on game 1 and look ahead to game number 2. It's the Brewers and Cardinals, and the Cardinals are 5 games above the 500 mark. With my partner Al Raboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Welcome to the ballpark. And the ballpark was buzzing last night, and it is again today because of what we saw with Jaime Garcia.
Well, he was outstanding. Just remember, he stopped a very, very good offense. Yes, they're struggling. They've lost 7 straight, 9 straight road games, but potentially, and they've proven to be one of the best offenses in baseball. Hopefully, we can keep them down again here today.
And looking forward to this one as Kyle Loesch gets the start against Giovanni Gallardo. A look at the starting pitchers. Pair of right-handers. Game 2 just around the corner.
And that man behind the plate, Yadier Molina. So far this year, there have been 13 complete game shutouts. We'll see 2 of the guys that have done that already in 2011.
Well, Gallardo, in his second start of the year, had a 2-hit complete game shutout. He has struggled since that time. He is their ace, but he has not been pitching that well. On the other side, Kyle Loesch. He threw a 2-hit shutout against Washington, and he has pitched extremely well ever since then. He is amongst the league leaders in lowest batting average, second best. He's keeping his pitch count down and going deep into ball games.
Loesch is 4-1. Gallardo is 2-2. Cards, Brewers, game 2, first pitch coming up in just a moment. For some afternoon baseball between the Cardinals and the Brewers. After last night's 6-0 shutout at Busch, the Redbirds look for their third straight win today and a series victory over Milwaukee. First pitch coming up next on your home of the Cardinals, Fox Sports Midwest. "175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching today around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. Welcome in, sit back, and enjoy America's pastime. It is a packed house here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Big crowd, well over 35,000, and a gorgeous afternoon. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. By Chevy. See your Mid-America Chevy dealers. By Southwest Airlines. New Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. #1 in quality tires and expert auto service. And by Steak and Shake. Life meets flavor. Last night, the story was Jaime Garcia. And for those that didn't see it, Al, it was near perfection.
Retired the first 22 batters he faced. End up with a 2-hit shutout, 1 walk allowed. His second complete game shutout and 2-hitter this season. And the third of his young, brilliant career.
Kyle Loesch will face this lineup today. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and it is struggling. Weeks, Council, and Braun. Fielder, McGee, and Kotze, the switch hitter. LaCroix, Gomez, and Yovani Gallardo. And Kyle Loesch gets the start today. The 6'2", 32-year-old from California. And his record stands at 4-1 with a very good ERA of 2.44.
He's won 4 straight decisions, returning to the form of 2008 when he was 15-6 for the Cardinals, but going deep into ball games, really in control.
The first pitch is taken for a strike. Home plate umpire is the crew chief today. That's Gary Darling. Bruce Dreckman over at first, Paul Emmel at second, Rob Drake is at third. The 0-1 pitch to Ricky Weeks. 1 ball, 1 strike. At Busch Stadium, Loesch's numbers been very good in 46 starts in his career, 17-12. As Weeks had 1 of the 2 hits last night. Ground ball too short. To his left, Tyler Green. Nice play. The stretch by Pujols. A look at the Cardinals defense this afternoon. You see Green at short. Let's go to the outfield with Holiday, Rasmus, and Berkman. Descalso, Green, Punto, and Pujols on the infield. And the battery today is Kyle Loesch and Yadier Molina. So Berkman, who told you I never feel comfortable against Randy Wolf, did not make the start last night, but he's back in there today.
Well, he has better numbers against Gallardo, and it was not even. He said, I'd rather face Josh Johnson than Randy Wolf.
Now that is hard to believe.
And that's who the Cardinals beat a couple days ago. Josh Johnson, who came, had the 0.88 ERA, took his first loss at the hands of the Cardinals.
1 ball, 1 strike on Craig Counsell. He's at shortstop today for Milwaukee. It's 77 degrees here in downtown St. Louis. What a gorgeous day here in the middle of America. And you see the very good numbers against Loesch. And really, it's Counsell, Braun, and Fielder. Pay attention to these 3 today, because Braun, who's on deck, is 8 for 20 against Loesch, and Fielder 11 of 24.
They have several. The Brewers have good numbers against Kyle. But
3 and 1.
Those have been padded the last couple years when Kyle was not healthy. The way he's throwing the ball right now, they might find that because you've had prior success will not translate into success today.
A 3-1 pitch to Counsell. Right down the middle.
Yeah, quickly Kyle was working. You can just watch his mannerisms. He feels very confident in his ability, and he's been getting the results to make him feel that way.
The 3-2 pitch. Pulled foul. That's one of the reasons, Al, correct me if I'm wrong, guys do work quickly. They feel confident in their stuff.
No doubt about it. When you get on the mound and you can watch the mannerisms of the pitcher. Dave Duncan has even preached to guys about mound presence to present that positive image out there.
Another 3-2 delivery. Lined into center field for a base hit. 1 out hit for Craig Counsell. Well, we don't have to worry about a no-hitter for Kyle Loesch today. Throw that out the window.
Well, now as a pitcher, you think 1-hitter. Now these Brewers, mentioned they are struggling. They have lost 7 straight, 9 straight road games. They are now 5-14 on the road.
And one of the reasons why is a battered bullpen and an offense that has been doing nothing, with the exception of Braun, but he was held in check last night. And really, it gives you an indication of just how good the stuff was for Jaime Garcia to watch some of the swings that Braun was taking in that game.
0 for 3 with 3 punch-outs. And you're talking about the National League's Player of the Month for April. And if you're a Cardinal fan, hard to believe that it could be anybody other than Holiday or Berkman.
1-0 pitch to Braun. Hit to third. Knocked down. Out at second. And safe at first. A hot shot to Descalso. Did not field it cleanly. And in doing so, it allows Braun to reach. Extends the inning to Fielder.
Descalso has played very well at third base. And here, not getting the double play. A sure double play ball. And what also, by dropping the ball initially, you put your second baseman, Punto, out to dry. You allow Counsell to get on top of him. He could have put a much more dangerous slide on him, but playing like a gentleman, playing like another infielder, he was going to be disruptive, but not out there to punish or hurt him. This
is the longest road losing skid for the Brewers since 2008. That year they lost 9 straight, and so far on the road this year they are 5-14. That pitch is taken for a strike by Fielder.
Kyle Loesch has kept the opponent's batting average way down, but particularly against left-handed batters. They're batting only 147 against him with no home runs. Righties are only 214.
Strike on the inside corner. Fielder has started every game this year for Milwaukee. You see what he's done the last 3 games. 0 for his last 10 and 4 strikeouts.
Set up inside. Could have been called either way, but we like the big strike zone. Make the hitters adjust to it.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. A little bigger lead by Braun at first. How did you approach, or any of your contemporaries, Al, approach an 0-2 situation? Was it guaranteed that you waste a pitch, or you saw a guy like Garcia last night? He got people 0-2. He went right at him.
Well, I'll put it how Bob Gibson. You know, Red Shandy's had a $50 fine for giving up an 0-2 base hit.
Changeup, it looked to be that time. It was. Into shallow left. Holiday makes the catch.
And Bob said, I got a whole bunch of $50 bills. Do I get a credit for when I get them out on 0-2?
No damage done as we move to the bottom of the first. What is this pitch here?
Well, we're looking at it. It's a circle change, but look at how he has the index fingers touching or almost touching the middle finger, almost touching the index finger, almost presenting a split between the middle and ring finger, kind of the Foch, the Vulcan. But it would just stand to reason, if you can locate that pitch, it would even diminish the velocity even more so than a typical circle change where the 3 outer fingers are just pretty much on the ball, on the outer part of the ball.
Giovanni Gallardo is 2-2 with an ERA that's over 6. The 25-year-old from Mexico, selected in the second round of the 2004 draft. Nick Punto takes a ball low and away. It's 2-1. Ryan Theriot is able to play today, not start. Remember, he was hit by a pitch in the game last night, so he has a contusion on his shin, but he could play late innings if need be. So Punto gets the start, and he's in the leadoff spot and slaps one just foul.
Well, think about Theriot feeling the pressure of the perfect game last night. He took himself out of that game, stating that, hey, I'm a little bit hobbled. I don't want to be the result of being one step slower and missing, you know, a potential ground ball and have that be the difference of a perfect game or no hitter. That's thinking of the team, isn't it?
It is, as Braun is near the line and makes the catch, and Punto is retired. There's a look at Brian Terrio, the everyday shortstop for the Redbirds, as we get a look at the lineup as well. Punto, the switch hitter, then Rasmus and Pujols, Holiday, Berkman, Molina, Descalso, Green, and the pitcher, Kyle Loesch.
And to accentuate the point on Terrio is, he's a real gamer, a real competitor. So there's no way he's doing a Wally Pip or trying to beg out of a game. But he was thinking of the team and the personal achievement of a potential no-hitter. So about the fourth inning, that leg stiffening up on him, he said, hey, I'm not at my best. You better put a better defender out there.
Here's Colby Rasmus. Grounds one towards Dave McKay. Makes a fine play. The first base coach who is in the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. He was born and raised just outside Vancouver. Made it to the big leagues. Surprisingly, he has told me he never really was all that interested in hockey, which is what the national sport is north of the border, but always had a passion for baseball. Moved to the States, and he and his son were major leaguers. 0-2 the count on Colby Rasmus. They play way off the line at third. Big gap in right center. Now, if Colby sees this, if there wasn't 2 strikes, we've seen his ability to bunt for a base hit this year. Something he really hadn't done the previous 2.
And that's a great point, because the bunt is right there if he wants to take it.
In the air out to left center field. It's pretty well hit. Gomez is back near the wall, leaps, hangs on for the catch. Oh, what a play by Carlos Gomez. And even the fans here in St. Louis give him a round of applause.
Cardinal fans recognize the best in baseball. Sure, they want to see their team win, but they can appreciate the athleticism of the visiting team. And here's a great example of that. Crashing hard into that ball. That is still not a catch until he actually reaches in and extracts the ball, or show an effort to extract the ball. So they'll sit there and wait. And there where he secured it tightly on his way down and then reached in, and then it became a catch.
That hard wall out there and reaching for his right shoulder. We saw a scary moment a couple of years ago with Rick Ankiel.
No doubt about it. Rick, his head and shoulder all and neck kind of crashing at the base as he was going full speed. At least he had a little bit of time to kind of prepare himself.
The check swing and a strike by Pujols. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's hitting .254, the career .331 hitter. It would take some effort to get to that mark this year in the 5 remaining months, but never count him out to get back there. The 1-2 pitch, reaching for it, slowly hit, and Pujols is out. Carlos Gomez so far with the play of the day out in center. Community service projects. U.S. military veterans will provide the leadership needed to renovate ball fields and senior centers. And the first one they'll help out is Able Senior Citizen in Rolla, Missouri. Learn more at missioncontinues.org. And the first pitch to Casey McGee is taken for a ball. Their local writers voted McGee the MVP of their season a year ago, 102 RBIs. And he gets the MVP, a team that features Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder. Pretty good honor.
102 RBIs, the most ever by a Brewer third baseman.
Hits it in the air, out to right. This could be trouble. Berkman is on the run. He'll look up, and it's a one-hopper off the wall as it stayed fair. McGee trots into second base with a leadoff double and the second base hit for Milwaukee here today. Brings in Mark Kotze, the well-traveled switch-hitting veteran.
See the location of this pitch, down but a little bit more of the plate. Goes the opposite way with it. It's going to slice away from Berkman. And it's a double all the way. So a leadoff double puts a little pressure, but you do have 6, 7, and 8 coming up.
First pitch to Kotze. He at least wants to pull it to the right side. I mentioned the struggles for Milwaukee offensively during this skid. They are 2 for 38. 2 for 38 with runners in scoring position. In the air out to center. McGee walks back to the bag. He will not tag up. Too shallow, and the catch is made by Colby Rasmus for the first out. Jonathan LaCroix, the catcher, will be the hitter. That's a big out. Can't advance that runner to third.
That's it, Dan. You can get the runner over to third with just one out. You'll take your chances, but little bonus for Loesch is he can get the out and the man stays at second. LaCroix is 2 for 2 off of facing Kyle. Very small sample.
It's a banged up team right now. Manny Parr, left-handed pitcher on the DL with a right back issue. Takashi Saito, left hamstring strain. Eric Almonte out with a concussion. Zach Braddock, one of their better relievers, a sleep disorder. And one that may surprise you, but the Milwaukee folks will tell you it's been a huge loss for them, Niger Morgan. They felt that Morgan has really provided a little spark out in center field. And on a bunt play, he broke his left middle finger, so he's on the disabled list. 0-2 on LaCroix. So runners in scoring position. The Cardinals much better, 20 for 56 the last 7 games. The Brewers now 2 for 39. That's updated.
Cardinals have had that uncanny ability to deliver a 2-out hit. That breaks the back of an opposing team.
Fought off by LaCroix, who's making his 16th start behind the plate so far this year. Made his major league debut last year. 75 games with the Brewers.
One of the reasons why Kyle Loesch has had such success is he's been able to keep the ball down. And in the early going, a lot of pitches have been up over the middle of the plate.
0-2 pitch. Got him to reach. Busch Stadium is really filled up. Gorgeous afternoon here in St. Louis. Glad you're with us on Fox Sports Midwest along with Al Raboski, Dan McLaughlin, and our Fox Sports Midwest crew.
Nice giveaway. Beautiful, spectacular afternoon.
And for Mother's Day tomorrow, we expect the same type of weather. So come on down. Good seats still available. The 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. Another fly ball out. Rasmus, shallow left center, puts it away. 2 outs.
Another good pitch. Had him off balance, reaching for a ball that's probably out of the strike zone. So not really a very good at bat. Set up away, off speed pitch down there, and just getting himself out.
Brings in Carlos Gomez, 0 for 4 last night. Center fielder made the outstanding play to take the extra base hit away from Rasmus. He has 8 steals this year. He's got very good speed to lead their team. He had 18 a season ago to lead the Milwaukee Brewers. 8th place hitter takes a pitch high and outside.
He's got multiple lives as they've tried to give him the center field job. Keeps on losing it. But now, as you said, Nigel Morgan out with injury. He gets another shot. Little pigeon-toed.
Now you do have first base open, and Gallardo is on deck.
He's a good hitting pitcher, Gallardo. And really, to be honest, you have to go after every 8th place hitter. Now, if you fall behind the count, which is 2-0, you might just think about putting him on. Look at that swing.
2-1. What did you see?
Saw an 8th place hitter coming out of his shoe.
Yeah, me too. Trying to park one in the seats. Two balls, one strike on Gomez. Just missed on the inside corner. That pitch on the outside corner, though, has been called a strike this far this afternoon.
Keep the ball down, work those corners. That could have gone either way. 3-1 pitch.
Foul tip. It was a changeup, and that's the 0-2 pitch that he threw to Fielder that got him to pop out.
But it's also another pitch up, and a hitter, a young hitter, trying to come out of his shoes with a swing. It's a good selection, but preferably you'd like to have that ball down.
A full count delivery with a runner at second base. That's McGee. On the outside corner, doesn't get the call. So a walk, the first issued by Loesch. Taking a game from some of Busch Stadium's most popular seats, the all-inclusive areas. You get all your food, all your beverages for one price. All-inclusive tickets at Cardinals.com. They have a Mother's Day special going on right now. And you, for $79 for select games in July, can get an all-inclusive ticket.
Gallardo is a career .216 hitter. Good by a pitcher's standard with 9 career home runs.
Loesch is just missing. He isn't missing by much, is he?
No, he's not. I thought the 3-1, 3-2 pitch could have gone either way.
2 runners on, and here's a 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's a family Sunday tomorrow at the ballpark. Come on down for Mother's Day. Terrace level seats, get you a free hot dog and Coke. Kids can run the bases after the game. Ice cream sundae as well out in the Ford Plaza. 1-1 pitch, 2-1. So we invite you to take in some baseball, and apparently the weather is supposed to be perfect again. St. Louis and Kyle McClellan gets that start. A little late with that swing, 2-2.
Slowing things down here a little bit. Probably not happy that he's having to pitch behind in the count. Just get out of this inning, regroup.
The 2-2 pitch. It's a pretty good swing right there by Gallardo.
Yeah, when you see a guy that's been around like Gallardo has, and you're hitting over 200, but also 9 home runs, so that's over 200 is a high batting average for a pitcher, and obviously the 9 home runs speak for themselves.
Here's a 2-2. Ground ball to short. Tyler Green goes the short way and safe out at second. Gomez hustling all the way, and now the bases are loaded, and Loesch should be out of the inning.
Well, Gomez, give him credit. He went in there proud of himself to get there. Took a little bit too much time, and there you see, almost hang out Punto for the second time in this ball game.
In a way, Al, if you know that's going to be close, you've got to know the pitcher is hitting and doesn't run all that well.
That's true. But, you know, it's just a rarity to see somebody hustle like that. I mean, it's spectacular. It looks great. But why don't we see more of it?
Sure. Here's Ricky Weeks. Grounded out to short to start the game. Bases loaded here in the top of the second with 2 outs. And Weeks looks at a ball high. Casey McGee started the inning with a double. Walked to Gomez. He's safe on that hustle play. And there's Gallardo. And Loesch should be out of the inning, but he needs to pick up Tyler Green here.
And that's it, Dan. You really you can't think about that. You've got to say, okay, look at, I got the bases loaded, 2 outs. I've got to keep them from scoring.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. And Molina wants time.
Well, he's seen the same thing, that Kyle, and everything is up a little bit. Is that a reflection of the line drive he took off the shin in his last start? You know, does he not have that ability to use his legs and drive and keep the ball down? But you aren't seeing the same body language that you saw in the first inning.
And where you get concerned is a guy like Ricky Weeks, even though he's a leadoff man, not a typical leadoff man in terms of power, with 29 home runs a year ago. He already has 6 this year. And he scored 112 runs and drove in 83 from a leadoff man.
Now he's the leadoff hitter of today that strikes out a lot more but has a lot more power.
The 2-0 pitch. Paints it on the outside corner, 2-1.
Ricky had 83 RBIs to go with those 29 home runs from the leadoff spot.
And Al, if you're Milwaukee, you're looking at this, even though it's the second inning, as an important spot in this game. They haven't been hitting. They're not driving in anybody. They get a new life with that play at second base.
No doubt about it. And you try to do, that's how you stop losing streaks. You try to do something a little extra, like Gomez. You know, you took a sure out and you give yourself new life. Anytime you can get more than 3 outs in an inning, you're going to have good things happen for you. Ron Renicky, the new manager, first time managing at the big league level. He's been a long time with the Angels and working under Mike Scioscia.
Crowd comes alive a bit on a 2-2 pitch. Weeks hits it out of play. Well, the crowd was in it just about every pitch after the 5th inning last night. They could sense something special was happening with Garcia.
There was something special. It was his pitching and just unbelievable movement on all of his pitches.
It's another 2-2 pitch, 2 Weeks. Got him. Strikeout for Loesch, his first of the afternoon. What a big one there. The Brewers strand the bases loaded. The Cardinals will have Holiday, Berkman, and Molina coming up. Big pitch here by Kyle Loesch. Gets out of a jam. Sports Midwest is brought to you by the Stadium Sports Bar and Grill at Lumiere Casino. Opens this coming Monday. By Jack in the Box, where right now you can get the new bourbon barbecue steak grilled sandwich at participating restaurants. And by Kia. Beautiful day for baseball here in St. Louis. Al Rabatsky, Dan McLaughlin with you. It's the cleanup man, Matt Holliday, followed by the red-hot Lance Berkman, the switch hitter, and Yadier Molina.
Matt, a team-high 12-game hitting streak.
And now we're told about Milwaukee this year defensively. A lot more shifts, a lot more looking at charts, and you see how they position Holliday here. I'm not sure I agree with it because it is a huge gap in left center field. We've seen him go that way a number of times as he grounds out and pulls it to short. Brings in Berkman. And speaking of their defense, let's take a look at that now. Presented by Dobbs with Braun, Gomez, and Kotze in the outfield. McGee, Counsell, Weeks, and Fielder along the infield. And the battery, Gallardo and LaCroix. That's the Dobbs defense for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Well, we'll get an idea of what you're talking about here with Berkman up. The switch hitter is just having a phenomenal season, as they have 3 infielders on the right side, only 1 on the left side. Their third baseman playing shortstop. So a big shift here. You got the short, second, and first on the right side. Only Casey McGee, the third baseman. So, Dan, they're going to say he's going to pull the ball in the infield, and then they throw a breaking ball away.
And most around baseball have been shocked with what they've seen, the resurgence of Lance Berkman, but one that's not is John Mozeliak. As Berkman hits that off his foot. I find this very interesting. I was talking with a scout today, Al, about Berkman, and in particular the fastball. Home runs this season by pitch type, 6 of the 10 have come on a fastball, and people last year around baseball were telling you his
bat speed.
His bat speed was slow. You could pitch him inside, and
a year ago you could.
Obviously you could. Now you can't.
You know, we even noticed that the last couple of years in Houston. But last year, you know, having the knee surgery, and he complicated matters by coming back too soon. He had it very late in spring training. You know, he injured it, had to have the surgery, then he came back too soon. And when you don't have a solid foundation, you're not going to hit well.
That catches the outside corner, and Berkman doesn't like the call. First strikeout for Gallardo, but the scout was saying at this point, if you go in, you've got to treat them like fools. You've got to get all the way in, because now he's shown the ability to turn on that pitch.
It's true. Gary Darling has heard it from Berkman there. Borderline pitch, but we've seen the strike zone afloat a little bit.
Here's Yadier Molina. Molina with a home run last night. His second of the year. He's driven in 14, and all of a sudden, quietly, his average is up to 298.
As far as catchers go in the National League, he's right there at the top with what he's doing offensively. Second home run last night. He's hit 377 with 11 RBIs since the middle part of April. That's top among National League catchers during that time. And obviously catching almost every game.
The 0-2 pitch. Just missed. Now, you don't see many catchers argue when they're at the plate about a strike zone. Occasionally they will, but they know they've got to work for their guy too.
They can do it in a quiet fashion when they're back there catching.
No one knows, just those two.
And a lot of times, you know, what a catcher will do is they'll turn around and they'll say, okay, that's fine, but you make sure you call it for my guy. But we've seen, you know, already Gary Darling that, you know, it's been 50-50 on borderline pitches.
Count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs and nobody on. Now the defense here, I think you and I would both agree that it's probably right the way they're positioned, in particular in the outfield.
The outfield, to play him to hit to right center.
Trying to shoot one that way and hits it out of play.
Pretty much straight away in the infield, but the outfield you shade towards right. Big gap in left center. You can almost draw a pitcher out in shallow right field where so many of Yadi's hits come, especially with the guy on first base.
The 2-2 pitch in the dirt, 3-2. That ball hit the dirt and they throw it right out. Bruce Fremming, who is a Milwaukee native, Wisconsin native, no longer an everyday umpire, but he's at the ballpark here today.
Umpiring supervisor now.
3-2 is back to Gallardo, and the Cardinals will go 1-2-3. That's 6 up and 6 down. Council, Braun, Fielder, big bats coming up for the Brew Crew. Take the Cardinals with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today, and you can see every Cardinals game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Cardinals.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere.
See if Kyle Loesch can't start pitching ahead in the count and consistently keep that ball down.
Here's Craig Counsell. Remember, he used to hold his hands way above his head, had that odd stance. One of the more different looking stances that you would see. It's not quite as pronounced as it once was. Pujols to his left. Race to the bag. Loesch is there.
Two-time Gold Glove winner Albert Pujols flashes a little leather and helps himself.
Albert has told me it's not getting to the ball that's the hard part. He said leading your pitcher when you're off balance a little bit is the hard part.
Sure, and get in there in plenty of time so he can receive the ball, and then, you know, and you see how the off balance is. He had more time than he thought, but makes a nice play as momentum carry him down the right field line. You spin and you throw and you're hitting that moving target. But he's always had great confidence in his throwing ability.
Here's Ryan Braun, 0 for 1 today. His average at .317, 10 home runs, and 23 driven in.
Ryan Braun, just a pure hitter, isn't he? Third consecutive Silver Slugger Award, All-Star.
Went undrafted out of high school.
Last season became the first player in franchise history to produce 20-plus home runs in each of his first 4 seasons. Now, he's the first player in their history to do that. And then you think of Albert, who in every year, his first 10 years in the big leagues, hit at least 30 and averaged over 40 in his first 10 years.
Yeah, you're talking about some of the biggest sluggers in the game here this weekend. That's an outstanding pitch. Got him to reach a fly ball, shallow right, and the catch made by Rasmus. Our Toyota keys to the game, the big sluggers, Pujols, Fielder, and Braun. You see Albert, no homers in his last 12 games, 1 in the last 16 against St. Louis for Fielder, 1 home run in his last 9 for Ryan Braun. The big bats, Pujols, Fielder, and Braun, are Toyota keys to the game.
Albert's trying to look for, he needs 2 more home runs to have 100 here at his home ballpark. And Prince Fielder needs 1 more home run for 200 in his career. He's hit a bunch ever since he's gotten to the big leagues. Second most in all of baseball.
Seen Loesch rubbing his leg where he was hit in his previous start a couple of times already in this inning. You just wonder if that is affecting him a little bit trying to finish off pitches, but so far so good. No damage done.
A drive off that back leg, and that would be a factor in not allowing him to keep the ball down. And you always worry about a pitcher having a leg injury altering their mechanics to where they have developing an arm issue because of something to their lower body.
Fielder was swinging away on 3-0, 3 balls, 1 strike. Flied out to left, first time up, and he takes a ball. Second walk that's issued by Kyle Loesch, and it brings in Casey McGee, who doubled, then left stranded back in the second inning.
2 walks here this afternoon. Kyle, a big part of his success was not walking many. It only had 8 walks and 44 plus innings coming in.
First pitch to Casey McGee, taken for a strike. Going back to last inning now, the Brewers have 2 hits in their previous 42 at bats with runners in scoring position after the strikeout of Ricky Weeks to end the second inning. 0-1 pitch in the air out to left center field. That's trouble. They had him shaded to right center. One hops off the wall. Rasmus will fire it back in. Relay to the plate. The throw to the plate cut off by Pujols, but nobody's at second base. And finally coming back in to help out. It doesn't matter as the tag is made by Descalso, but Punto is coming back in. And Fielder scores all the way from first base, and the Brewers grab an early 1-0 lead. The RBI by Pooch is in the ballpark. Come downtown, enjoy the game with man's best friend, and tickets on sale at Cardinals.com. Daniel Descalso for the Redbirds looks at a strike.
Yeah, there's 2 outs, so he's going to be running hard. Just put his head down. I thought there was a play at the plate. Albert saw an out and took it out in front of him.
That hit Gallardo. Then Counsell makes the play. Slowed it up just a bit. So that'll go down as 1-6-3. By the way, if you're scoring that play off the bat of McGee and that RBI, 8-6-3-5. And he picked up the RBI number 14 to make it 1-0.
Not a strong throw from Tyler Green.
Gallardo going with the high stirrup look. Something he normally does not do. He's trying to change the luck of the Brewers here today. 0-1 pitch to Green, taken for a ball outside.
Bad news is if it works, you have to stick with it.
Whether you like it or not. Personally, I like that.
Personally, and I don't.
I see now.
I think there's in between.
You like in between. I don't like it all the way down with no stirrups showing.
Correct.
But you don't like it that high.
I don't like it that high.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Green. Fouled back.
The proper way to wear the Cardinal uniform, you no longer can do it because they don't have stripes on their stirrups anymore. But the proper way was you had to show 3 stripes.
Time called by Green. Some of the players do not even have anything that tightens up towards the ankle.
Yeah, you used to have the sanitaries, and then you put a stirrup over that. There you see the stirrups on Lou Brock, and you were taught to show 3 stripes.
3-2 with Loesch on deck. There they are. The stirrup of Lou Brock. And he may have chased a ball, a strikeout. The second of the afternoon for Gallardo.
Last time out, Gallardo was pitching a similar game, virtually perfect for 5 innings, and then the roof caved in. He has not pitched well since he threw his two-hit shutout.
Maybe that's why the stirrups are showing too for himself personally.
His ERA since that time is over 8. But looks more like the pitchers that they think they have in him that has been their opening day starter the last few years.
Carlos Pena hit a game-tying home run this afternoon in the 9th inning for the Cubs, and Kosuke Fukudome walk-off single. Cubs beat the Reds 3-2 today. Cardinals, as we speak now, are 2 games in front of Cincinnati, 3.5 in front of Chicago. Redbirds 5 games above 500. Tony La Russa will tell you, always looks at the season in increments of 5.
Now the Cardinals in first place, Cincinnati in second, 1 game over 500.
Hit the other way, fielder backhands and then underhands to Gallardo. That's 9 up and 9 down. Kotze leads it off the switch hitter when we come back. for the kids. Also prizes in the Ford Plaza, courtesy of North Star. And if you'd like tickets, just go to Cardinals.com. Again, tomorrow, Family Sunday. Get a free hot dog and Coke with a purchase of a terrace-level seat. And kids, after the game, can run the bases. And a strike we're underway to Mark Kotsay here in the fourth. It has been 29 years since the Brewers and Cardinals met in the 1982 World Series. In that time, Milwaukee has made one trip to the postseason. The Cardinals 10. Cardinals have won 4 pennants, Milwaukee none. And the Redbirds won the 06 World Series. Line drive into center. Catch made by Rasmus. At the Milwaukee Bucks, the Packers, and then the Brewers. The Green Bay Packers, 26 playoff appearances. See the championships. Milwaukee Bucks, they have 1 championship, and then only 3 playoff appearances by Milwaukee. A concern for them now, just like any lower market team, would be trying to keep the big name stars, which they've done with Ryan Braun through 2021. As you get a look at that Zach Greinke jersey, they were able to acquire him. He had a couple of years on his deal, Sean Markham. But by all accounts, it looks like trying to keep Prince Fielder is going to be next to impossible.
I think the fan base and even management is accepted that they will lose Prince, but they feel that they have a chance to win the Central Division. So they're willing to keep him and take their draft picks.
0-2 pitch. And this ties in with Pujols, who's a free agent to be. What is the market for a first baseman? You know, where do you go? New York and Boston, they're tied up with Teixeira and Gonzalez. Slowly hit, Green, gloves, throws, makes the play. You look at the Chicago Cubs, Carlos Peña's on a 1-year deal.
1-year deal.
But the Dodgers aren't making payroll right now.
Yeah. Who's going to be the owner there? As you see a nice play on a Hyundai Fox Exmo cam.
But you know where I'm going with this.
And you know, the Angels always seem like they have finished second place in the sweepstakes, at least this offseason.
Would you agree, too, that after the A-Rod deal, the market, to an extent, has to correct itself? It's got to come back a little bit, too. I think most people in baseball feel that that was a ridiculous deal. As Gomez is flying, he's going to try for 2. He's in there safely. Showing off that speed here today. On base for the second time.
If you got it, why not use it? Berkman, he was hustling all the way, and he was not caught flat-footed. He's hustling over here. Watch, he knows he's running, so he's trying to throw it, get it in there as quick as possible, and the speed just purely outruns the play. Just plays so well in front, and no hesitation there. But that's a young man who has had the center field job, has lost it over the last couple of years, and now is trying to claim it.
Gallardo with a fly ball into shallow right center. The second baseman goes out. That's Nick Punto to make the catch. Top of the lineup coming up. It's 1-0. Who are the active pitchers with at least 7 starts against the Redbirds and no wins. One of them may surprise you. Miguel Batista now working in the bullpen for the Redbirds, and Gallardo.
It's even more surprising because here is a guy that's in that rotation, the ace of their staff.
Now, in his defense, he's received 7 total runs of support.
Well, that's the only way it could be. You know, it'd have to be a lack of run support because he's too good a pitcher.
There's Nick Punto, switch hitter, again filling in for Ryan Theriot, who is available to come off the bench later if need be. And Punto takes a strike. Cardinals have promoted one of their teen flamethrowers, Carlos Martinez. He'll go to low A Quad Cities today, and he'll begin starting. He's only 19. Dominican Republic native. And the Cardinals last year spent $1.5 million to get him. 59 innings. He had 78 strikeouts in the Dominican Summer League. The Cardinals are doing something very interesting. I was talking with John Vooch, the farm director of the Cardinals, in their lower minor leagues, like Quad Cities. They're using a 6-man rotation. And the reason that they want to do that is that specifically to get 2 bullpen sessions in for those starters and to work on their secondary pitches. So, for instance, Shelby Miller trying to work on his breaking ball, his changeup, get it over for strikes, throw it behind when he's in counts. That's something that they're working on.
I disagree with it because the only way you can learn how to pitch is to pitch in games.
How do you feel then about, let's say, Shelby Miller? You know, he's racking up strikeout after strikeout with his fastball, the 3-2 pitch, and Punto is down. 3rd strikeout for Gallardo. And yet the club is saying, hey, don't worry about numbers. And to me, that would be so hard to do if you're a competitor and you're pitching out there. You want to win the game. And they're saying, hey, throw your secondary pitches. That's got to be very tough to do.
I understand that. And granted, but what good is it that you can throw it in the bullpen session and can't use it in the game? So the only way to learn how to pitch and to utilize your pitches is to be pitching. We know how much players are creatures of habit. At some point they're going to go, hey, I need that extra day's rest, because they've always had an extra day, and as they progress, it's a built-in excuse saying, well, I can pitch well on a 6-man rotation. And you can't tell me at the low A ball teams that they have 6 legitimate starting prospects. Well, it doesn't happen that way.
And the Cardinals, though, do have very good young arms. You talk to people that are around the minor leagues and travel throughout the summer. The Cardinals have power arms in their minor league system. And one of those is getting promoted as well, and that was the pitcher picked up by the Cardinals in the Brendan Ryan deal.
Yeah, hard thrower for triple digits, but legitimately in the high 90s.
7th inning the other day, he was throwing still in the high 90s, but he might be a guy that eventually is projected because of his velocity for the bullpen. Brendan Ryan, by the way, had a walk-off hit for the Mariners last night.
He's already got a couple hits the other day. He's still flirting with 200, but we know he's got to be playing good defense for him.
The 2-2 pitch. Inside. Cardinals still looking for their first base hit as we play here with 1 out in the 4th.
I know parents think that when your son signs a minor league contract that they're destined to go to the big leagues. Even to sign, it's a rarity that you're going to get to the big leagues. But you have to put a team around your handful of prospects. Have we seen a reversal on last night?
I was thinking the same thing. Brings in Pujols. And for the Cardinals today, it's game number 34 of the season. First 11 games, Albert hit 200 with 1 home run. The next 11, 6 home runs, 13 RBIs. His last 11, he's at 263, no homers, and just 5 driven in.
Interesting article today about Albert Pujols, and with a slow start, what would he have to hit the rest of the way to get to his career average of 331?
Ground ball hit to short, loved by Counsell. The Cardinals go 1-2-3. Gallardo sharp this afternoon. It's a pitcher's duel, 1-0 as we move to the 5th. Winning handcrafted wines. All you have to do is go to visitmo.com to find out more. Leadoff man Ricky Weeks, who's 0 for 2. He struck out with the bases loaded back in the 2nd inning, and also grounded out to short. Weeks here, then Counsell and Ryan Braun. Keep an eye on Andre Ethier later tonight. Ethier of the Dodgers, 30-game hitting streak on the line. Weeks with a high fly ball into right. Berkman, 1 away.
Franchise record is 31 by 3-dog Willie Davis. Do you remember him at all?
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he did play briefly with St. Louis, and what a interesting character. But he would kind of be the incarnation of, you know, a blend between Willie McGee and Bake McBride. Just great, unbelievable speed.
Pitch taken low by Counsell.
Maybe the opposite of Willie off the field.
Oh, is that right? That's why you remember him. How come all the guys you bring up, Al, have this sordid past?
Sordid is colorful.
Outside the lines. 2 balls and no strikes on Craig Counsell. Pujols takes it on the short out for out number 2.
Nice play by Albert, his second of the game.
Mizzou Day is coming up June 25th at Busch Stadium. Pre-game activities. Meet some of the current student athletes. And you can buy discounted tickets at Cardinals.com/Mizzou Day. Presented by the TV home of Mizzou and the Big 12, Fox Sports Midwest. Now, George Sisler, back in 1925, had hits in 30 straight games to start the year. Ethier has done it in 30 of 33 of his team games. They played 33. He's hit 30 straight. Never forget the All-Star game here in St. Louis, and Ichiro, who broke Sisler's record, went to his gravesite. He and his wife and put flowers on the gravesite as he had broken his single season hits record.
What was it, like 258, something like
257 for Sisler. And in 04, Ichiro had 262. Ichiro, by the way, has done that 7 times, 200 or more hits. Sisler with the Browns back in 1920 that set that mark of the hit record at the time. Popped up. Will it be playable? Pujols is over near the tarp with room. Makes a basket catch and a souvenir for a fan. Holiday due up first when we come back. Narveson and McClellan. Chris Narveson, a lefty that used to be in the Cardinals organization, was traded for Larry Walker, you might remember. And Kyle McClellan gets the start for St. Louis. 6th start of the season and 7th appearance for McClellan.
Narveson ended up being one of their better pitchers.
He has. Took a while, but it's finally here.
A lot of times they say lefties are slow to develop. Look at Warren Spahn. He didn't win his first game, I believe, until he was 26. And then went on to win 363. Still the record all time by a left-handed pitcher.
1 ball, 1 strike on Matt Holliday, who is 0 for 1. Holliday grounded out to short. Big gap in left center again. Now what have you seen with Gallardo? What's made him exceptional this far today?
It's kind of hard to tell because I'm not seeing him doing anything really that's that outstanding. You know, he's worked on both sides of the plate, a little bit up and down. He's changed speeds, but still a lot of pitches like that are out over the plate.
Cardinals still looking for their first base hit as we play here in the 5th.
Mark McGwire felt that he predominantly keeps the ball away from the right-handed batters. They'll see enough pitches that are up out over the plate.
Holliday is swinging a miss on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. That's strikeout number 5 for the Brewers right-hander.
Cardinals have chased a few pitches. That pitch up there, you see it, it's eye level, but hard to catch up to it. You just see the fluidity in that swing is taken out. As that, if you can induce hitters to swing at that pitch, usually you get a swing and miss or a pop-up, but that's very difficult to center it. It's a ball, but it's a pitcher's pitch if you can get hitters to swing at it.
Berkman had words with the home plate umpire his first time up. Breaking ball that caught the outside corner. Didn't like the call. He struck out. He's 0 for 1.
Mentioned Gary Darling, the crew chief. He's been around 20+ seasons, and you can talk to him. You can kind of vent your frustration, but do it in a way that you keep yourself in the game. get your point across.
I wonder how tempted Berkman would be just to lay down a bunt. They've got a big shift on for him.
Well, we talked about that, when Rasmus, and that's how you defeat that. You can get a bunt, and why not take advantage of it? You're looking for your first hit. You need a base runner. Why not go ahead and just drop a bunt down the third base line? All you have to do is make it hard enough to make sure the pitcher can't field it. And if you do that, you've got a sure base hit.
The 2-2 pitch. That's the pitch that he was called out on.
Yeah, they keep on throwing the breaking ball away, and it's almost they're playing against the defense.
The 3-2. Right on the pitch and foul back. And then you look at the outfield, they shade him just a bit to the opposite field.
Slightly to pull, but from seeing Berkman so many years when he was wearing the Houston Astros uniform, made him very dangerous in the Houston ballpark because he could just take the outside pitch, throw it up into the Crawford boxes. There was a jet stream that went out to right center.
The Cardinals finally have their first base runner of the afternoon. It's a walk to Berkman.
And that was a pitch he probably could have been running up on too. So maybe that good conversation did have a bearing.
You did bring up an interesting point. You got a veteran back there behind the plate. You have a veteran, the batter's box, with a pretty good eye. He's a guy that draws a number of walks in Lance Berkman. So maybe in the back of Gary Darling's mind, he's saying, well, it may have been borderline, but he may have a valid point too. Molina shoots it down the right field line, and that ball is foul. I bet these umpires think, though, they're never wrong.
I'm sure an umpire would say, oh, no, I never consider who's in the batter's box. And we all know different. You try to slip a called third strike by Yastrzemski in Boston. Good luck.
Yeah. Or here with Pujols.
Very true.
0-1 pitch. I believe it was in the summer of '98. Historic summer for McGuire. Packed house at the Old Busch Stadium. And McGuire was ejected early in the game. And I remember Jack Buck had to come out and basically calm down the fan base. You remember that?
Yes.
They were out for blood. Off the glove of Gallardo. And still they're able to get Molina advancing into scoring position. Lance Berkman. 1-4-3 on that play.
I liked how Ricky Weeks was just so comfortable and didn't panic just when Aaron got behind me and got the deflection.
Lance Berkman safe at second, safe and secure. New York Life. It's up to Descalso, who also hit one back to the pitcher Gallardo today. Eventually wound up in the glove of the shortstop for an out. Tying run is at second base. Descalso with a dramatic home run the other night.
His first major league home run, a 3-run home run to secure a victory. Unlikely source, but it won't change his swing. It was a line drive. It just got out. Perfect timing.
Sure was. With this Cardinals team, as time is called, you've got Tyler Green on deck. Right now, you just feel there's no quit in this team. The culture of the clubhouse, as we talk to players, has been changed a little bit. The additions of guys like Berkman and Terrio lighten the mood a little bit. And good people both on and off the field. But also, there just seems to be no quit with this team. They've had a lot of late inning games and heroics in the back end of games, too.
Dan, there were times last season that they would jump out to a lead, but then they sat on it. They never could add on. Become very frustrating. It was a great attribute to get the lead, but then not to add on and put away the opposition. Just allowed them to peck away and come back. But Now you see this characteristics of this team, and Berkman and Terrio. Gerald Laird's been a great addition. Not only has he done a nice job in 8 starts, the team's 7-1, good catcher's ERA, 3.12, but you know he's got a great personality, just fits right in with these guys, and they champion the ability to get those 2-out base hits.
2-2 the count. Shadows edging closer to the batter's box with a late start today. 2-2.
Mentioned last time out, Gallardo was near perfect for 5 innings, and then all of a sudden he just, kind of lost it. Will this be the same type of afternoon?
In the dirt, Descalso draws a walk. So 2 walks in the game, both coming here in the bottom of the 5th. Extends the inning to the 8th place hitter, Tyler Green. Green struck out. One of 5 strikeouts for Gallardo here today. So we'll look at Gallardo's career against St. Louis. He's 0-4. Very little run support, as you see there, 1.88, but the high ERA close to 6.
Now you've walked 2 in this inning. Tyler Green, just go up there and really look and hope for a first pitch fastball and drive it. He has surprising power. Slider there. Pitch is center, really up over the middle of the plate, but early account, he probably was looking for the fastball.
The 0-1 pitch to Tyler Green. Here it comes. Shoots it into right, slicing. Will it get down? No, the catch is made. On the run, the catch made by Kotsay, and that may have saved 2 runs. The Cardinals still don't have a hit. We move to the 6th. Prince Fielder leads it off when we come back. Bottom of the 9th for a 4-3 Cardinals win. And Stan would hit 75 more in his career. 475 home runs for the man.
Other Hall of Famer ended up with that same total. Willie Stargell.
Strike at the knees to Prince Fielder. Stan would hit with an average of .331 for his career and over 1,900 RBIs. High fly ball. Catch made by Rasmus, and Fielder has been quiet so far in this series, and here today he's 0 for 2.
Yeah, there are times when you talk about a quick short stroke, and then there's other times when your bat is so slow it just kind of drags through the zone. And now you kind of see Prince Fielder right down. There's just that bat is slow. And
strike to Casey McGee. 2 outfield plays defensively for Milwaukee so far. One of the stories, the Gomez play against the wall off the bat of Rasmus in the first, and then the running catch by Kotze just moments ago to save 2 runs.
And remember that Kotze's catch, even more impressive as a right-handed hitter. That ball's going to slice away from him into the corner.
In the air to left center. Another fly ball. Holiday is there. Remember, tomorrow the first 25,000 fans with a paid admission receive a pink mini bat courtesy of Bank of America, just in time for Mother's Day. Cardinals.com for tickets. And again, it's worth repeating. Family Sunday, terrace level seats, free hot dog and Coke, and the kids have an ice cream sundae before the game. They get prizes out in the Ford Plaza and can run the bases on the field afterwards. Be good to see efficient inning here out of Kyle Loesch. And an aspect of the bullpen last night is that they should be rested. And a guy that really should be rested is Ryan Franklin. He has not pitched, Al, since May 1st.
I know, it's just, and it's eaten at him. Frustrated. Started the season as a closer, got off to a very rough start, and he's had some of the worst luck that you can ever imagine. His last time out in Atlanta, I thought he threw the ball much better. But you've got to get out there to get back in sync.
The 2-1 pitch, pulled foul. And I'm sure, as you've seen all your years in baseball, a pitcher can get in a bad rut or a slump, and they need to hit. If you're a hitter, you need to hit. If you're a pitcher, you got to get back out there.
Well, we always talk about hitters, they always do all the little things to get a hitter out of a slump, but rarely do you ever talk about that term with a pitcher. And it's accurate. A slump for a pitcher.
3 fly ball outs, and we're midway through 6. 1-0 Milwaukee. May 28th, the UEFA Champions League final comes to Fox with a rematch of the 2009 final. That's Saturday, May 28th at 1, and you can see that in high definition. It's an overcast day, so the shadows really haven't taken full effect here at the ballpark, but they're edging closer to the plate. You would figure it'd get even harder to hit against a guy that has yet to give up a base hit, and that's Gallardo.
Well, we might as well get our first hit here, and who better to get it than Kyle Loesch? Not with that swing. Gallardo has changed speeds. He's kept the ball, kept them swinging at a lot of pitches that are borderline or out of the strike zone, getting them to chase pitches.
No cold weather here today, so if the pitcher goes to his mouth.
Yeah, it kind of looked like he went to his mouth the last time and
got to wipe it away. Soft liner into right. Kotze is there.
Kotze playing way in, and it paid off.
Explain that rule to folks that don't know, Al.
Well, you can go to your mouth as a pitcher as long as you're off the mound, but you really do have to still wipe off. If you're on the mound and you go to your mouth, you know, it's a ball. In very cold weather, unlike today, umpires will tell the pitchers you can go to your mouth, but you still have to wipe off.
Ryan Braun coming on to make the catch off the bat of Nick Punto.
A lot of times pitchers will get a little extra saliva to get a better grip. See how he's wiping the moisture from his hands and then wipe the ball a little bit. See there, I mean, that's just a little get ahead breaking ball, and just nothing really special about it. And yet Cardinal hitters haven't been able to center it yet.
2 outs, nobody on. Here's Colby Rasmus. We talked last night how Garcia was in perfect tune with his catcher Molina. We've seen that Gallardo today with his catcher LaCroix. 1 ball, 1 strike.
There was a very good pitch. Fastball up and in, tying up Colby. Jumped on him real quickly. Sneaky fast. Back inside again.
1-2. He's hit that spot awful lot against the lefties. That inside pitch catches the corner.
Those are the best pitches we've seen. You know, not only catching the corner, but just working enough inside. Hitters don't like that. I was talking with Mark McGuire today and talking about hitters. If you knew that you would never be thrown at, I mean, that's their dream. But he was saying, like in his era, definitely in my time, pitchers intimidated hitters. You would get knocked down. He said, you get thrown at, you get hit in the head. But it was part of the learning process. And then Major League Baseball stepped in and didn't want any more of that. That's why we're seeing so much more offense today. Now, Gibby gets mad every time we say he threw at people. Just happened, a lot of them got hit.
Third walk issued by Gallardo, and it brings in Pujols, who twice has grounded out to short.
You know, we were talking earlier about the article, talking about what Albert has to do. He has to hit over 350 the rest of the way to get to his, you know, lifetime average of 331. Well, that's something he's capable of doing. It's probably his start this year is most closely compared to 07, where his average didn't climb above 270 until May 23rd.
Nearly to the backstop, and LaCroix makes a good stop. Time is called, and see what he wants to talk about here with Gallardo.
And see the pitch just way off the target. And I think the most surprising thing about Albert this year is for a guy that's averaged about 42 doubles a year in his first 10 years of the big leagues, he only has 1 to this point. Very few walks, as he used to get so many intentional passes.
1-0 pitch hit off the end of the bat, fair ball. Fielder steps on the bag, and the Cardinals strand a runner. Gallardo, no hits allowed through 6. And it's a 1-run lead. LaCroix, Gomez, Gallardo. 7, 8, and 9 to face Loesch. Here in the 7th inning, Loesch had 83 pitches so far.
Kyle had 5 straight starts where he went at least 7 innings. Had that broken in his last start when he went 6 down in Atlanta. But he has gone deep into games, definitely giving his team a chance to win.
0-2.
This is where you have that 7, 8, and 9, where you really do think in terms of having a very easy inning. But you got to really push it. Don't take anything for granted, but you know it should be an easy inning for you.
Might be able to get 2 more innings, if not 3, out of Kyle Loesch. It's pulled foul. He's not due up for quite some time in the Cardinal lineup. 87 is the pitch count, depending on how quickly he gets through the 7th inning. The 1-2 pitch. Strikeout. And Loesch picks up his 2nd strikeout of the afternoon. It brings in Carlos Gomez, who has shown off his speed and athleticism, beating out a force play to extend an inning, but no damage was done. Blooped in a base hit. He would wind up at 2nd. And then had the catch of the day early on in this game against the wall and robbing Colby Rasmus, showing bunt for strike 1.
No extra step as he's trying to do it all and utilize that great asset of speed. Boy, when you hustle, it stands out, doesn't it?
Like you said, you know, simple force play, you just don't see guys beat that out or hustle it out like that. It's sharply to the shortstop, Tyler Green. There's 2 away. And Gallardo will dig in. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 7th, it'll be Holiday, Berkman, and Molina for the Redbirds against Gallardo. 0 for 2 today. Again, join us tomorrow at 12:30. Narveson and Kyle McClellan. Cardinals are 6-0 in games that McClellan has appeared this year. Tied for 2nd in wins with 4. And only averaging 11 pitches per inning is Kyle McClellan.
He's got to be close to the top and only allowing 11 pitches.
Bottom dropped out of that last pitch to Gallardo. And the 1-2 delivery by Loesch. Get out of play and foul. Last night they talked about Garcia, no one talking to him. I'm sure the same is happening right now for Gallardo. Matter of fact, no one wanted to sit by him either. Everybody got out of the way.
An island to himself. But don't you see, I mean, last night you truly saw potential no-hit stuff. You wouldn't think that with Gallardo.
Holiday coming up. It's 1-0 Milwaukee. marketplace of the Cardinals. A wedding reception of sorts here at the ballpark.
Jerry Vickery Jr. has his bachelor party here at the ballpark in one of the suites.
You ever crashed a wedding, Al?
No, Dan.
First pitch is a ball to Holiday. There's a look at the in-game box score. No hits so far in this ball game.
Ever crashed a no-hitter?
May have jinxed it now, Al. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That'd be fine with me.
Everybody, I give to you for tonight's entertainment. Al Raboski. Holiday hits it to second. That big threat is through. Holiday is 0 for 3 today. Twice he is grounded out and a strikeout. Now it's Berkman.
Well, these fans last night were having a lot of fun here in the 7th inning, rooting on Jaime Garcia and the Cardinals for a no-hitter. 6-0 ball game, and they're a little quieter when it's been the reversal.
Al, have you ever heard of a pitcher in his post-game comments, if he was close to making history or did, say that, no, I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea.
They'd be lying.
Every one of them has to have an idea.
Absolutely.
How can you not?
You know, and actually, you know, as you talk about it, no one sits around you. No one will talk to you. That probably is more distracting than if they did talk to you.
And some guys, they like to converse between innings. It keeps their mind away from sometimes the task at hand.
Sure. But it's an unusual, you know, for everybody to treat you like you're the plague, and everybody not to talk to you, not to look at you, make eye contact. That's when another factor makes you know what you have going.
By the way, Justin Verlander is perfect through 6 for Detroit right now.
And was it Derek Lowe was perfect in the 7th inning, as Lee had struck out 16 in like 7 innings and took the loss.
2-2 pitch taken down and in. The only base runners today have been via walks. Cardinals have been given 3 walks by Gallardo. Pitch count at 97. The shift is on here for Berkman. And here comes a 3-2 delivery. And he walked him. The difference in the ball game from last night to tonight, obviously, is the score. Well, you got Garcia with a 6-run lead, and now Gallardo making sure that this stays a 1-run lead.
And it was also a perfect game. You know, as Garcia retired the first 22 batters he faced. Now there's 4 walks have been granted to the Cardinals.
Remember how we were talking, Al, last night about Bud Smith?
I was saying the same thing, the pitch count.
Pitch counts, right. Early in the season here, and you know he's got a chance to do something special, but yet you're thinking long-term too. Rest of the year.
Clay Kirby with the San Diego Padres. Early in their franchise history, he was trailing in a ball game 1-0, and they pinch hit for him with a no-hitter. And he, I'm trying to think of the manager, Preston Gomez. Preston Gomez was heavily criticized for taking him out of, after say 8 innings, but they were trailing 1-0.
Runner goes, and it's out of play.
Cardinals really haven't had a chance to run in this ball game, as LaCroix, the catcher, has only thrown out 7% of base stealers, 1 for 15. Now, most of the time you steal off the pitcher. But Tony, I think, is just chopping at the bit just to do something, just to get some movement going.
Well, this is the guy to do it. As we talked about earlier, many of those base hits are to right, especially when there's a runner at first is you see how Fielder is holding the runner. He's not even close to the bag and trying to get off the bag. It's a good 2 or 3 steps. Runner goes again. Back to Gallardo. Out at second, out at first. And it's a double play. Defense behind Gallardo. That was in the first inning, robbing Colby Rasmus. This saved 2 runs. Kotze ran it down in right, and then just moments ago, the double play.
Not too worried about having a conversation, is he?
Surprised. I saw him talking to LaCroix, but
that would be okay.
That's his catcher.
Yeah, it's his catcher. So they're just talking about what's going to transpire. And at some point, you know, Ron Renicke's talking about that pitch count.
Weeks pops it up right side and out of play. One hop into the seats, and which makes it an interesting point thinking ahead. And what he's thinking here, Al, is that right now Gallardo's at 104 pitches, 61 have been strikes. Do you have somebody once he gets to 110, 115 warming up just in case he does give up that base hit?
Well, they've been having problems with that bullpen.
It's going to drop in for a hit.
Not a good read by Kobe. I don't think it would have made any difference.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Kyle had retired 10 in a row before the bloop base hit by Ricky Weeks.
Let's see if Counsell is bunting here, trying to get some insurance in the 8th. Descalso is in on the grass over at third. Pujols is holding at first, and they'll throw over.
Throw over to try and get a read and see if Counsell will telegraph what his intentions are. You have to guard against the bunt. Once again, Counsell not showing his hand. Mitchell Boggs throwing in the Cardinal bullpen.
By the way, for Detroit, Verlander is pitching against Toronto. They pitch out, guess right, see ya.
Tony takes a lot of pride in calling the defense of the steal. Calls the pitch out. Just a perfect throw. You see Yachty just take his time, gun it down there, slide right into the tag. Kyle Loesch appreciated that from his catcher.
Also the bench too, as he looked over towards Tony La Russa.
Because that's Tony. Tony
absolutely
is the one that called that pitch out. And as he puts the glove there, and does he slide into it? Does that left hand get to the bag? But when you're waiting with a glove like that, you're going to be called out 99.9% of the time.
On the double play that we just saw Gallardo start, it almost looked as if Counsell wasn't quite on the bag too.
That'd been a real tough call. You would have a definite argument.
3-2 here on Counsell. Single back in the first. Good play by Pujols. Robbed him of a base hit in the third. He's also grounded out to first. The 3-2 pitch. Broken bat. Shallow center. Green can't come up with it. Great effort. Just a bit short.
Crossing pattern over the middle. Incomplete. Pretty video. Nice grass stains.
Pitch count now at 104 for Kyle Loesch. So both at 104. And Loesch gets Braun here.
A few more strikes in Kyle's 104. What was it, 69 to 61?
61 for Gallardo. So we have to bear down with these two bats coming up, Braun and Fielder.
Sure like to get a double play off of this bat. Get back on offense.
Braun, a high pop up near the left field line. Holiday under it to make the catch. Before this game is through, the Brewers still have to get through Albert Pujols. 7, 8, and 9 upcoming in the bottom of the 8th. Here's Fielder. Fielder with a walk today. He's also flied to left and flied to center.
Very important for Kyle to get through this inning. Allow them to pinch hit for him and still be in line for a come from behind win.
Strike one. That's ripped towards second, backhanded by Punto. In this series, Milwaukee with just one run in 17 innings as this rotation really has taken shape in 2011. exception to the rule by Bank of America, where ATM deposits are as easy as an infield fly. No deposit slip, no envelope. With Bank of America, member FDIC. And by AT&T. Al Raboski, Dan McLaughlin with you.
Bernie.
Yep. Bernie Federko there on the left, the Hall of Famer. His wife, Berna. Where's Ray Vincent?
He's in the dugout with Tony.
First pitch to Descalso. Taken for a ball in the dirt. Descalso, 7th place hitter, is grounded out. Sharply back to Gallardo. He knocked it down. Slowed it down to the shortstop. That's hit out of play. The Cardinals have been held without a hit here this afternoon. 7, 8, 9 in this inning. Then the top of the order, if we get there. Up the middle. Base hit. The first hit of the afternoon by Descalso.
And like last night, a clean base hit. No controversy. Now you've got the no is gone. Now you go after the shutout. Right back up the middle. Good effort by Counsell. But it goes on through.
That'll get the bullpen active now for Milwaukee.
And as a pitcher, you got to guard against the real letdown, and you've given up the hit, but you've got to make sure that you don't give up the game.
Right-hander is getting loose for the Brewers.
Cameron Lowe.
Pitch count well above 100 now. As Tyler Green takes a ball low. Cardinals still have not put a man in the on-deck circle.
And I'm sure they're telling her right now, the home plate umpire is telling Tony, get your on-deck hitter there. That's the pitcher spot, Loesch, but John Jay is now popping out. He hit his second career pinch hit home run in this homestand. Wouldn't that be nice?
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Tyler Green. Instead, another check on the runner at first. No hitters last 6 in baseball. Dallas Braden has a perfect game along with Roy Halladay. For Braden, that happened last year on Mother's Day. Mother's Day tomorrow. 1-0 pitch. Upstairs. Verlander, Justin Verlander, the big right-hander for Detroit, is still perfect through 7 now.
You could see a Verlander and his great ability be in line to throw a no-no. Gallardo came in here with left-hander batters batting .328 against him, right-handers .330. Was leading the National League in hits allowed, so it is surprising that he went as far as this game without allowing a hit. 3-0. Show bunt, but pull it back.
You know, Gallardo gives up that base hit. You talk about trying to regain the focus. No longer the no-hitter in play, and it's about winning this ball game.
I mean, you got a catcher who doesn't throw particularly well.
Bunt up the first base line, but foul. 3-1.
Doesn't have to be that perfect. Ball looked like it might have been up. Rather take that pitch right there and take your chances with him throwing a strike.
Bit surprised to see him bunting on 3-0.
Yeah, I could see him show bunt, but pull it back and see if he could throw a strike.
The 3-1 pitch to a Green. 3-2.
Tyler Green has to have the ability to put down a bunt.
Crowd today of 40,209. 40209. Remember, Green came up with runners at first and second. Back in the fifth, 2 outs. And it was an outstanding play made by Kotze and Wright to save 2 runs.
Line that ball out to right, hit it with authority. Right now, it's got to get the job done.
The 3-2 pitch does not get the job done. Green strikes out.
You look back, and if the Cardinals do not win this game, that at bat will be very glaring. Horrible attempt, stabbing at the ball, coming up empty, had a 3-0 count, and there were a couple pitches there that were questionable whether they were strikes.
John Jay will be the pinch hitter. Last time we saw him was on Wednesday. Pinch hit, home run.
And it's the pitching coach out to talk to Gallardo. Rick never played in big leagues, but recognized one of the better pitching coaches. Been around with a couple other organizations at the big league level. And John Jay been sitting there for 2 hours.
And now they do have a lefty, but they never got him up to throw. That's Stetter. So righty-lefty matchup here. Runner at first, Descalso. Jay up there swinging away. Fouls it back.
Very tough role to be a pitch hitter at this level. And John Jay, for a very young player, has really shown that last year that he could handle it. I mentioned his second pinch hit home run.
2 for 11 on the year as a pinch hitter. Takes it just a bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's a tough job. The only way you can really be criticized is not to swing. You know, if you're taking strikes, but you have to be very aggressive, and usually, as long as you're aggressive, most people give you credit.
Jay breaks his bat, slowly hit. Weeks gets a lead man. No, Weeks, a slow ground ball, even with a good runner like Descalso, gets a lead man, so no runners in scoring position. And it's up to Punto to extend the inning. He is flied out to left, struck out, and flied out to left again last time up back in the 6th.
And you know, you look back, and if Terrio is available, you wonder why, you know, thought that would have been an option. Maybe he could have pinch hit in this inning, whether it's for Tyler Green or something, but
Verlander perfect through 7 1/3. He has filthy stuff. Punto with a fly ball out to left. Braun makes the catch. That sends us to the 9th. Gallardo gives up the base hit, but only 1 today, and it's a 1-run lead. Pat Paris and the gang standing by. Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live coming up after a final out here at Busch Stadium. Our Chevy called to the bullpen. And it's Mitchell Boggs.
Mitchell Boggs will take over here. He still is tied for the team lead with his 3 saves, 3 and 4 opportunities. First batter face, 11 of 14, he is retired. He's not allowed any inherited runners to score. Strikeout per inning for Mitchell Boggs. And Dan, although that the bullpen, it has 9 losses. 9 of the Cardinal 15 losses this year. Their ERA now is under 3.
Casey McGee leads it off.
Casey McGee drove in the only run of this ball game, and I thought there would have been a play at the plate. Albert allowed to cut it off and get McGee trying to stretch his double into a triple. Took the out in front of him, but that opened the gate and allowed them to score the run. Who would have thought that was going to be the only run of this ball game?
McGee with 2 base hits today. Takes a slider for a strike, 0-2. Cardinals have Rasmus, Pujols, Holiday coming up. Boggs trying to keep this a 1-run Milwaukee lead. High chopper to the left side. Tyler Green, long throw. Safe. Verlander, perfect game is gone with a walk, but no hitter through 8 is still intact.
High chopper gets over the head of Scalzo, deep on the grass. Long throw and a close play. Made it a lot closer than what you would have thought. But they give the infield single to Casey McGee.
Tim Luft is enjoying the game today on Fox Sports Midwest out in St. Charles. And it says that he is a huge fan of Hungo. It's Tim Luft. There's a pitch that's taken high and outside by Mark Kotze, who has made one of the fine catches by Milwaukee today. Took a hit away and probably 2 runs that would have scored.
I think there's no doubt about it.
Two and 0. John Axford is the closer.
They've had some problems in that bullpen. Apparently on this road trip, they have been shuffling players in and out.
Sheets, Rush, Sabathia, all-time complete game shutouts for Milwaukee against St. Louis. So Verlander, as we talked about, no hitter through 8. 7-0 lead for Detroit. The 2-1 pitch. Base hit out to left. Brings in LaCroix.
Well, Boggs is trying, but a couple base hits here. Very, very close game. Keep it this 1-0 and you got a shot.
Axford, who is getting loose, 12 appearances, ERA of about 6.5. Does have 5 saves. He's 5 of 7. This is Tony La Russa making a long walk out to the mound.
And no one warming up, so you just have to believe this is a message the skipper wants to send to Boggs and the infield here. Talk about the defensive strategy. You're down to LaCroix, their 7th hitter. Mott now starts throwing. Talk about the defense, how they want to play this in a bunting situation. McGee, the runner at second base, not probably say average foot speed.
LaCroix has struck out, grounded out, and flied out today. The corners are in. Squares to bunt. Protects himself. Foul ball, strike one.
Just a foul ball, young man. That ball just running right in. Tom McGuire about this, how hitters just don't know how to get out of the way, because it's so unusual to have a pitch thrown at them. And the ball just taken off. And they're so used to kind of leaning out over the plate. Good way to get your finger broke also. Andrew Morgan did that in a bunt attempt the other day. Landed on the DL.
Strike two, swinging away. Corners will play back now with 2 strikes, nothing into the count. Runners at first and second. That's McGee and Kotze. The 0-2 pitch by Mitchell Boggs. Here it comes. Foul ball off his foot. Tough at bat here for LaCroix.
Now all 3 balls have run right in on him. First one showing bunt, and it's coming right at your face. The next one was high and tight. He showed bunt and swung at, and then even that one running in on him, fouls it off his foot.
The 0-2 doesn't chase. If you're wondering, the last time seen consecutive complete game shutouts by or against St. Louis, back in 1996, Todd Stottlemyre beat Darryl Kyle 2-0. Then the following day, Alan Bennis beat Bob Tewksbury 3-0. 1996. Big strikeout for Boggs. He needed that. Big strikeout there, and it brings in Gomez. What we've seen with Gomez, good speed. Might be tough to double up.
He has it into 1 double play this year. Boggs has that ability to strike out people. Gomez usually swinging from the heels.
Big gap into left center field. 1 out. Runners at first and second. Fouled straight back. That was the one thing that we were told after the game last night. It was Betancourt who broke up the no-hitter. And a lot of people believe the scouting report on him, never throw him a strike early in the count.
First pitch. You know, he's a first ball hitter. And a lot of times, the guy's first ball fastball hitter, the best pitch to throw him is a fastball, but not, you know, in the plate. Just throw it off the corner a little bit.
That ball scoots away from Molina. Slams his mask and his helmet down. That's a wild pitch charge to Boggs. And it takes away the double play, and Molina not happy one bit as he slammed his mask and his helmet down.
Well, 3-time Gold Glove winner behind the plate there. Now, it's a wild pitch, but he has such pride in blocking balls, and he's mad at himself. He is not caught to that ability this year, but you can see he just has a lot of pride, mad, and we're going to have a pitching change.
In the middle of the at-bat.
It's going for the strikeout. Bigger chance than Mott can throw the ball by him.
So that's it for Mitchell Boggs and Jason Mott coming in. The count will be 1 ball, 1 strike on Carlos Gomez when we come back. And Boggs is removed in the middle of the at-bat. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Tony wasn't happy with the ball that was up and in. The first pitch to LaCroix. And then the wild pitch complicates situations. But he had Mott up because he has a lot of confidence in Mott throwing fastballs by hitters and looking for the strikeout here. You have to pull the infield in.
Mott trying to keep this a 1-run Milwaukee lead as we play here in the 9th inning. Milwaukee has out hit St. Louis 8-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. How about coming in the middle of an at bat, which Jason Mott has to do here in replace of Boggs, and you see Gomez is 0 for 3 with a strikeout against the right-hander.
Not the most ideal situation for Boggs, who just kind of rears back and throws the ball. That helped.
A little bit of a slider there.
A little slider, good bite to it, but you have to go up there thinking Boggs is going to throw you all fastballs, and now it's strike 2, 2-2.
Does he go back with that slider on 2-2?
The old rule, don't get beat with your second best pitch. Does, and he gets beat.
In the air out to deep right center field. Berkman back, can't get it. 2 runs are scored. Gomez is flying around the bases. Gomez on his way to third base. Standing up, 2-run score, and it's 3-0 Milwaukee. Big day for Gomez. On base for the 3rd time and an outstanding catch in center field. Let's charge to Mitchell Boggs as Berkman was playing in. Couldn't catch up. Rasmus had to get it back in, and 2-run score.
All right, throws him the slider, and this one's hanging up there. Look, he's not even running. But when he starts to run, he could run. He can go around these bases. He's at the third base before the trail runner crossed the plate. He was about halfway home when he was standing up at third.
Here's Betancourt. First pitch swinging. Hits it out to left. Gomez will tag up and score easily. It's 4-0, and Betancourt was the pinch hitter for Gallardo, who really gave Milwaukee a chance to win this game with his outstanding start this afternoon as he goes 8 innings.
Now their first pitch.
Redbirds will have Rasmus, Pujols, Holiday coming up in the bottom of the 9th. But now they trail by 4. Here's Ricky Weeks, top of the lineup for Milwaukee. Weeks is grounded out to short. He's flied to right. He struck out, singled his last time up in the 8th, and then was caught stealing as the Cardinals guessed right and pitched out. And that's strike 1 at 97 from Mott.
If you get beat at 97, so be it.
Here's a 1-1 pitch at the knees.
Big crowd sticking around. They're looking for a Cardinal come from behind. Can even be a save situation for the Milwaukee's bullpen.
The 1-2 pitch. Blew it right by him. Milwaukee picks up 3. They pick up the insurance. 4-0 midway through 9. Gallardo flirted with a no-hitter, and he is our Budweiser player of the game as you get a look at his line from this afternoon. And the Cardinals will see the closer, Axford, who had to take over for Trevor Hoffman, you might remember, when he struggled. And Axford is into the ballgame, the right-hander for the Milwaukee Brewers.
He was recalled on May 15th last season and established himself as a fine closer, 24 saves and 27 opportunities. That was the most ever by our Brewers rookie. But this year he's pitched well at home, not allowing a run at home in 7 appearances, but a 16.61 ERA in 5 road appearances. First batters faced, his efficiency has been 50%, 6 of 12. So this game is not over yet.
Axford was selected by Seattle. 7th round, did not sign in 01. Drafted by Cincinnati in the 42nd round in 05. Did not sign then. Signed with the Yankees, non-drafted free agent in 06, released by New York in 07, and then picked up by Milwaukee, made his debut in 2009. 0-1 pitch to Colby Rasmus. A pitch at 98 from Axford. 1 ball, 1 strike. Following his release in December of 2007, Axford worked as a cell phone salesman at Walmart and Best Buy.
What's wrong with that?
It's a little different than pitching in the major leagues, but nothing's wrong with it.
Bagging groceries.
Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner.
See the mustache that he has, and that's raised awareness when people ask him about it. Prostate cancer research. And he's another one that has come back from Tommy John surgery. Had that in 2004 when he pitched at Notre Dame. 6'5", 200-pounder. They said about 2 years ago he finally got that velocity back that many had seen early on when he was drafted in the 7th round back in 2001. Animal Kingdom wins the Derby. 2-2. 98 on our gun. Strikeout of Rasmus. Brings in Pujols.
Holiday will get his shot after Albert. He needs to extend his hitting streak. The Cardinals need more than just the 1 hit they have. Albert 0 for 3. He had hit Gallardo very well in the past, but not today.
So 1 out and nobody on. The pitch to Albert Pujols.
Here they have a shift on for Albert.
Cap day here at the ballpark, and some of those have turned into rally caps. Put a shift on for Pujols, who uses all fields, and then you have a guy that's also throwing 98. I'm not sure I'd put the shift on.
We've seen him hit a lot of balls hard that will go up the middle. That's why Weeks is pretty much positioned behind second base. Throw 98, and then you throw a good off-speed pitch, 10-mile-an-hour slower. And he probably even can take more off of that pitch than the 88. Curveball coming.
The 1-2 pitch to Pujols. Check swing. Albert hitless today, 3 groundouts. Justin Verlander is 2 outs away from a no-hitter, which would be his 2nd of his major league career. Albert strikes out, and it's up to Holiday.
.12-6 curveball, and Albert way out in front, off balance.
Pretty nasty pitch.
Well, nasty, and in the back of your mind, you know he's got 98 in his arsenal also.
Well, give Gallardo a lot of credit here today. He shut down the league's best offense.
No doubt. He came in with opponents batting .330 against him, and you wouldn't know it by tonight's or this afternoon's performance. Right here. Now you're talking about those shadows, Dan, that you were talking about earlier, as the batter is in the shade, pitcher halfway.
0-1 pitch to Holiday inside.
That has a team high. There you see, makes it even more difficult. As about the time he releases it, you see it in the bright sunlight, and then it disappears into the shadows.
Back to Axford, and Milwaukee takes game 2, 4-0. They allow just one hit off the bat of Daniel Descalso in the 8th inning. It sets up for the rubber game tomorrow here at Busch Stadium. We'll come your way at 12:30. Much more to come, though, today. Post-game show is next.